What are your tools or top tips to start channeling or connecting perhaps with their spirit guides or loved ones on the other side?
Well, I like to start teaching people how to use a pendulum. So it's not that you have to be good at it. In fact, I don't know that I'm particularly good at it, but I find that many of us like to hold a tool in our hands or something tactile that's really enjoyable. This pendulum brings me joy because it's got all the colors, the chakras. Someone really special made it. And so I'm holding this joyful tool and I'm able to learn how to ask yes and no questions. I can tune into, say, my higher self and ask questions to come through the pendulum from the perspective of my higher self, or I might ask for a spirit guide or a particular loving ancestor. This is foundational, I find, not because, again, you have to be good at it in order to be a good channel, but because it's a really nice entry point. And when people start to see their pendulum moving and they're really not moving it, that point is delightful. That's my favorite thing, my favorite part of teaching it. So that's where I start when I'm teaching classes quite often. But we don't have to go there. What's necessary to be a clear channel is to do the inner work. So that does include meditation, but there are many different forms of meditation, and you don't have to be a good meditator to be a clear channel. I'm not a great meditator. Sometimes I go kicking and screaming. Oftentimes I have nothing but one thought after another for the whole time I'm meditating. But just showing up to it is the point. Just being open is what that's about. And if your self-care is crappy, then your connection is likely going to be noisy. So I do take my self-care, my bodacious self-care seriously. And I make sure I'm having fun and I make sure I'm nourished, body, mind, spirit, soul, heart, all of it. And I make sure that I'm getting the sleep that I need. That's essential. So we have these foundational, biological needs, physiological needs, spiritual needs that need to be addressed if one is going to be a very clear channel, in my opinion.
And that
You're
would
still
also
on.
relate to connecting with spirit guides and connecting. Many people say, well, I can't tap into my intuition. That would all be related.
Yes, yes. So when I'm channeling, it's coming from the place of intuition. That's why when I said we're born with it, I'm talking about that sixth sense, our intuitive sense. We all have it, but a small portion of the population actually uses it. And most people that I know don't trust their own intuition. So this thing of channeling, I like to say 90% of it is trusting yourself, that what's coming through is actually coming through and you can lean into it and trust it and believe yourself.
And not just making it up, because that could often be a big part of it. And that also connecting with loved ones as well.